guys, it's Roy here from Marvelco12 and EpicDroid.com, and I'm here today to tell you about a product that I never thought I would need, but now that I have it, I almost can't live without it. And that product is the Ergoslider Plus. So the Ergoslider Plus is a replacement for your mouse. How many times do you find yourself sitting here typing at the keyboard, you're typing away, and you're just going, and then you have to reach over and you have to move your mouse. And when you move your mouse, you always rest your wrist down here, and then you're moving it back and forth, and there's a lot of wrist movement in there. There's the pointing, there's the clicking, and it's not the most ergonomic, and it's not the most comfortable feeling in the entire world. And you know, after a while, I mean, it just gets tiresome having to reach back and forth, and then typing again, and then, I mean, it just gets to be rather tedious. And that's where the Ergoslider Plus comes in. So here we have the Ergoslider Plus. Now the Ergoslider Plus, I went ahead and I put it back in the box so you guys can get the fake unboxing experience, but it's very simple packaging. You have a box, piece of styrofoam there to protect it, and then a little card saying thank you, and then you have the Ergoslider. So at first glance, this just looks like a rather poofy wrist guard that you would put in front of your keyboard, and it kind of is, but we'll show you that here in a second. But it's just two pieces. You got this is the wrist guard, you have your USB power, and then you have this little piece here. And this little piece here is what makes everything work. You consider this the roller ball that you would have on some of those old-fashioned mice, and that just sits right there. So now we have the Ergoslider Plus all hooked up, and as you can see here, it is really just a fancy wrist guard. I mean, at least at first glance. And it's very nice, it's very comfortable on the wrist. If you're resting your wrist on that as you're typing, you're not going to have any issues with that. Because of the length of it, and because it sits down here at the base of your keyboard, if you have a keyboard that has a wrist guard already built in, you will find that you do have to lift your hands to stretch just a little bit further, but that's proper posture anyway, so you should be doing that in the first place. But the way the Ergoslider Plus works is this here is your mouse. You move it left to right to move across the screen. So you go left to go left on your screen, and you go right to go right on your screen. This also moves up and down, so you slide it up to move your mouse up, you slide it down to move your mouse down. Here you have your buttons, your left click and your right click, and they have a forward and a back button if you're using it for browsing, and then you have your scroll bar right here. This also doubles as a clicker so that you can do a left click, and this also doubles as a left click. It's a very weird experience when you first start using it. You're going to find that it's very, very responsive, and so the amount of motion that you would put from here to here, I mean, and as you can see, that's like barely even an inch. It's like that on the Ergoslider Plus until you get used to it. Once you do get used to it, you'll find that it works a lot more smoothly, but when you first start using it, you're going to go like that, and you're going to be all the way over to the left of the screen or the right of the screen, and you're going to find it's very distracting and it's a little bit hard to work with. So the biggest issue I had getting used to the Ergoslider Plus was the fact that this here also doubles as a clicker, and I found that when I was using it, I would apply too much pressure and I was left clicking everywhere, and I wasn't getting the responses that I needed, because instead of clicking on the folder I wanted to open, I would click on something else as I was making my way up. So I'm scrolling to it and I start clicking. So that part really drove me nuts. Once you get used to it, you don't apply as much pressure, you're good to go. But at the same time, another awkward thing about that is, like I was talking about with that posture, if you're not putting your hands up, if you're putting them down, you're going to find yourself clicking a lot as you're typing. And there's nothing worse than clicking all over a document as you're trying to type and finding that your words are getting jumbled all together and mixed up and nothing is working the way that it should. Overall, I really, really like the Ergoslider. I don't like it down here. When I use it more like this so that I'm able to put my hands up and I'm not like resting it on it. It's a little bit further down so I'm not hitting it. You still have to move your hand. However, it's not so far away, and the motions here, I mean, are just with your fingers rather than with your wrist, where when you're using your mouse, it's all wrist based. So I said earlier, my biggest problem with the product itself was with this piece here. Getting used to it was really difficult. But my biggest problem with the device overall is the price of the device. The Ergoslider Plus goes for $175 on Amazon. And I will tell you guys, I did not pay for my Ergoslider Plus. This was something they sent me as a sample so that I could do this review video. If I didn't get this for free, I would have a very, very hard time justifying that expense. That being said, it's important to use a ergonomic setup and to make sure that you're doing that. I myself have had to have carpal tunnel surgery, and it's expensive, it's not comfortable, and there's a lot of recovery, and you know, even after the surgery, I still have issues with the carpal tunnel flaring up at times. So if I had had something like this, it probably would have helped alleviate that. When I use the Ergoslider Plus, I find that I don't have any issues with my carpal tunnel flaring up, whereas if I do use a mouse for an extended period of time, it does flare up, and it's uncomfortable, and it's not something that I like to deal with. So if it were a lot cheaper, it would be a lot easier for me to justify. But when I can get a mouse for $20 or this for $175, it does make it kind of a hard sell. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to help save lots of money in the long run, I mean, if I had had this before my carpal tunnel surgery, it would have saved me a lot more money, but at the same time, it's hard to justify the $175 up front. So would I recommend this product? Absolutely. It's a great product. I think it is awesome, and I really love what it's done to my work environment, and I love that I no longer have issues with my carpal tunnel when I'm using it. However, I do have that reservation of the price, and it's just a little bit too pricey for me to recommend it at that price point. So if you guys have any questions about the Ergoslider Plus, feel free to hit us up in the comment section down below. We'll answer those questions as we are available. If this video has been helpful to you, please give us a thumbs up, and remember to share this video with your friends. We'll have links to where you can order the Ergoslider Plus down in the description down below. And as always, just want to tell you guys thank you for watching, thank you for all your support, and you all have an awesome day.